Hi, my name is Cheri, and I am going to show you a card today in my studio. You're at my site and my channel, Cheri's Cards. I have a Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all under Cheri's Cards, and you can find my website at stampinonline.com, and there you can find about how to sign up for my free online classes. If you'd like to join my demonstrator team, if you are a demonstrator, we have some upcoming demonstrator events. So there's lots of fun stuff that you can find out there. So today I am going to show you a card made from the Sailing Home stamp set and dies. So it's a bundle. It's also a fabulous suite, and it is also part of my summer series of free online classes. So if you love this card, then you might want to sign up for my classes. They're free. You do have to have the supplies to make the card. So once you order those, you use my host code on my website, you order the stuff. And then what happens, sometimes people are a little confused on how the online classes. So say this was going to be a card in my online class, I would send you like these supplies and the ribbon, the stuff that you're going to see me actually use on the card. You would get that free as part of the class. And then you get, depending on what social media you prefer to use, you could get a Facebook or a YouTube. Those are usually the two that people pick. A private link that's password protected, or on Facebook you get an invitation. On YouTube you get a password protected, and then you get to see videos just like this. Nobody else gets to see them unless they're part of my class. And you follow along with me, and so you have the stuff like this. So as I make the card, then you can make it at home, and then I'm available to ask questions if you have questions. But then you have the stuff, and then you also complete the projects with me. So they're fun, they're free. There's no cost for the class, and in fact, all of the supplies are free. So right now I have Perennial Essence, that bundle, and Sailing Home. So you can get those. This card right here, I never got around to making a tutorial. It sat there, and so there's no video tutorial for it. I intended to, and it just never happened. And I realized it's not going to, so just look at how beautiful it is. It was designed in April by my friend Tanya. And we did it at one of our demonstrator events. So see how beautiful it is. She tied a much better knot than I did. And mine's kind of coming in. No, it's not. It is coming untied. It's been hanging on my bulletin board. I need to retie that. So it's a super fun set. The dies are beautiful, and they pull together really well. I can tell you one of the things I'm looking forward to doing is using this with the mermaid and the dies that come with this with the mermaid. The mermaid that was in the catalog last year, she's one of my favorite stamp sets. My niece works in New England on the coast, and her job is nautical themed. She loves mermaids, and I can't wait to make Casey a card with those. So let's get going with today's card. There's not a whole, it looks intricate. And the other thing I love about this stamp set is it's perfect for scrapbooking. It's great for guys. It's great for summer cards. It's got sayings that work for sympathy, for graduation, for Father's Day, for weddings, and then you can throw it together with several other sets that we have. So I've based the colors that I've chosen from the paper. And we made this card at my camp, so I've got lots of little scraps. I'm not sure that I need all these pieces, but we'll see. So this is a vanilla card base, and then this is soft suede. The other thing is it uses some colors that I know you already have. There's no in colors in this card. It's Night of Navy and soft suede. So I would say if you have Stampin' Up! Stuff, you already have those colors. So these are 2 strips of paper. Here's the other side, but those aren't the side. You can tell I've been cleaning up from camp, so I've got inky fingers already from cleaning stamps. So I'm going to go with these 2. So I've just cut strips, and part of the reason is you know, when you have lots of people using your supplies, then you try to get as much bang for your buck. But this is also good, like if you're down to like if you've cut a lot of your designer series paper, don't throw away these little pieces, because we're going to use them and they're going to look super pretty on here. So let's stamp the pieces first, and then we'll cut them out. My throat's scratchy from allergies, so I have some water here in case I need to take a drink. So let's do the Night of Navy first. I've got blackberry on my hands. I just cleaned up some blackberry ink. Got a little bit, we got some navy from another card. I don't think that was navy. I don't remember what card I just cleaned up. So this, and I'll tell you, if you do classes or if you do shoebox swaps with your friends or you get together to stamp with other people, you can see that I often write on my stamps. Oh, can you see that? It says Navy. So that tells the people at my events that all of the ink on this thing is going to be stamped in Navy. That way they don't have to have the sample there, or they might not stamp in the wrong color. It makes it a little bit easier, and I do that in Sharpie, and then you just wipe it off. So this is a compass. The details on these stamps are amazing. So stamp this on a little scrap piece. The other thing that was nice about this card was I keep, you know, all of my smaller pieces of cardstock in a piece of, like in a sliding plastic drawer thing, and I was able to pull out tons of little pieces for this card and use those up. Then this says, let hope be your anchor through the storms of life. And then it's stamped on Sahara sand. So that's all I need for that. Now when I clean this card up, I'm going to get some more inky fingers probably. Then we've got, this says suede and that says suede. So I'm done with my navy. But if you're doing a shoebox swap, it's a super good way to put your colors on here, and then you don't have to worry about people using the wrong ink, because they just look and they're like, oh, I'm supposed to stamp suede. And this I just used on the inside. There's a die that matches that, and it matched the paper, but there was no way for me to get it on the front. Oh, and I need another piece of vanilla. What's this over here? I have a giant thing over here. Let me just pull a piece of vanilla from over here. It's kind of a big one. That's quite. I'll just use a big one. Could have done it on suede, I guess. This is an anchor. And then the rest of it's all going to just be dies. This is why I have so many pieces of paper. So that's all the stamping, and now we're going to let the dies do the work for us. And the dies, if you've used the embossing mats, the nice thing about our new dies is you don't have to use embossing mats, because one pass through your die cutting machine, and they stamp and emboss, or cut and emboss super well. So I'm going to take this one and cut it out so I can get more of them on one pass. There we go. So let's put all these up here that we can in one go. So here's some seaweed, and this is one of the pieces I'm really looking forward to using with the mermaid. Put this here. And this circle comes from just our layering circles. I'm going to use it to cut the compass out. And then here's a piece of Sahara sand. See what I mean? It was great to use up a bunch of pieces of small leftover. And then this is a rope, and you can see it's got the pattern in it. You don't need any embossing mats. One pass through, and we're going to get that. Here is our anchor. I'm not using any special magnetic plate, precision plate, nothing special. Here's the steering wheel. Here is, almost dropped that. Here's the little, I don't know what you call that. That's like the middle part of the steering wheel. Oh, and I've lost my saying. There it is. Let's see if I can get them all on here at once. Sometimes by the time you mess with all these, it would have been faster to move them through. Then this one has some stitching, and it does come with the dies, and it's designed to, I'm going to actually switch these. The more intricate your die, the better it is to get them in the middle. So we'll put this one towards the middle. But this does come with the set, and it cuts out a couple of the different sayings. But the nice thing is once you have it, you could use it with other words that are in other sets and use those. So that's all of our dies on one pass. Now when you're doing this, don't squish your thing in there, because you're going to move them all. So move this out and then just put this down flat on top. Because when people squish, that's when they all move. And just hold it tight, and it's just going to take one pass through your machine. So one pass through. Some of them stuck. Put them back in here so I don't lose them. Here's our stitches on here. Our anchor. And you can, you could color these if you wanted, add some additional shading or a different color. This cuts a little hole out that we're going to use in a minute. And this just takes the circle out. So no back and forth is needed. You don't need to do upside down or any shims. This is just my normal plate. This one's got a little bit more places where you don't want to tear your seaweed, but it comes right out. And it's got these two in the middle. Just poke them out with that. And this one right here, you can see the rope already came because it's stuck to my plate. There's my inky fingers. You can use your scissors, or I'm gonna have to use something to get those two tiny ones out. Then here is the middle of my steering wheel, which probably has a nautical name, but I do not know what it is. And then this one, grab my scissors to get the steering wheel out. Pop these in here so they're not all over my table. This one, just because there's so many points, it does take something to pop it out, but it comes out. It cut and it comes out once. You just have to pull it up. There we go. And it even has some great detail. If you can see that, it's got lines and detail in it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the ones that don't have detail through my subtle embossing folder. So this one, because you don't want to put it through the embossing folder if it has detail, because it'll take the detail away. So you can see my rope on one pass, and I will put some close-up pictures of this on my website. So if you want to go see the close-up, go over to stampinonline.com and you can see those. This has great, beautiful detail, so I'm not going to run it through my subtles. This is just flat. This is flat, flat. This has the stitching, but the stitching won't leave, so I'm going to send those through my subtle embossing folder. And for that, you don't need all of these pieces. You just need a top plate. So I'm going to put as many as I can in the first time, which I think will be all of these. I could probably get one of those, but it's going to take 2 passes. So first I'm going to send these through. One pass, and just one plate. This is my favorite folder. I will tell you some of the folders, because Stampin' Up! Has started to make their own. They're not being made by Sizzix anymore. So there is, until, if some of them have sold out, until we get new stock in of the Stampin' Up! Made ones, some of them may not be available. The ones that are designed new by Stampin' Up!, if they're a new embossing folder, then they are available. Those may take a shim, or up to 5 pieces of paper laid underneath, because they're a little bit different. They're called 3D embossing folders now. So if you have any questions on using, or whether or not they're available, just message me and I can tell you. In the changeover to our own embossing and die cutting system, there's going to be a little bit of transition. So some of them we have run out of the old supply, and until we get new supply, so run those through. And then this one. So you may see something in the catalog and go to order it, and it may say it's not available, and it's not available because it's just not in the new order number yet until they get those. And then you may get a new one that's brand new that we've not had before and say this doesn't work. And there is a piece that you can buy. I don't have it yet. I've ordered it. And it's a permanent shim that you can put under to make it work, but you can also just use stacks of typing paper and figure out how many typing paper pieces. It's up to 5. I don't have any of the new folders yet, so I haven't been able to test them. I ordered the new folders when I ordered the shims. So once I have that, I will show you, because I prefer not to use typing paper, because you know me, I like to make my tools work the way they're supposed to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these 2 pieces here and attach these. This card's super simple. But it's got so many fun pieces on it. Put that there. And again, you may have heard me say on a couple of these other cards, I had a lot of demonstrators come over and use my product when it was new. So I'm kind of like forced to use pieces of paper that are not necessarily the sizes that I would normally use. This is the twine that comes with the suite. Gorgeous, gorgeous. It is navy and maybe sand. It's a pretty color combination. Maybe crumb cake, I don't know. It's not white and it's not vanilla. So I'm going to start with a piece just like back here to hold this. And then I'm going to wrap it so I end up with 4 strings across the top, the front, because it's twine and it's inexpensive. So we can do that. We can use lots and it gives a really nice rope effect. So we've got 4. And then I'm not going to tie it because I'm lazy. And you don't need to. You can let the adhesive hold it onto the card for you. So just snip that. Get all the rest of the little pieces over here that we're going to use. This is going to have a lot of fun little pieces. So I'm just going to hold this here so it doesn't move until I mount it onto my card. My cat has a toy. He's crying for me to come play with him. I don't know if you can hear him. I don't want you to think if you hear that there's a cat dying in the background. He's just dramatic. What's wrong, Bubs? Yeah. So I do want to put enough adhesive here in the middle that it's gonna, oh yeah, he's got a big toy. I can hear it dragging it through the house. What you got? Yeah, you got your toy? Yeah. I can't play right now, Bubby. I know. Go find somebody else to play with. Where's your sister? Yeah. You got a big toy? Yeah. Okay, so now I'm just going to take these, and they'll move a little bit because I didn't press hard yet. Just kind of arrange them where you want them to be. Yeah, Bubs, what's wrong? He's probably going to hop up on the table because I'm talking to him. Did you get a toy? Yep, there he is. Did you get your toy? Huh? So once you kind of pull them apart so they're a little spread out. You got to get out of my camera frame, Bubs. So then press hard. And then that's going to hold the ones in the back there. Okay, hop out of the way, Bubby. Come on. Now he'll drink my water next. Go. My coworker. Go. Okay, now we just need to stick it all together. So I'm going to start with my words. So because they're the focal point, and the rest is all just kind of decoration. And these I put on with some dimensionals so I could layer the other stuff behind them. And you kind of want to just use and you can see here I'm going to grab one of my other pieces of the twine with my dimensional. And that's one more place that every time I can find somewhere to hold it, I'm going to hold it. And then here's my seaweed. And I'm just going to give some snail. Take it and stick it down behind here. And then let's go with the steering wheel. And the nice thing is about these is they have little holes that are already punched in them. You probably can't see them, but you'll see them in just a second. These are just our metallic brads, and they were in the catalog last year. They're still in there. So you can just pick whichever color. There's big ones, there's medium ones, and there's small ones. And they come in gold, silver, and rose gold. So really any of the colors work on this card. Let's go with the sample I've already done is rose gold. So let's take a gold. So we'll have 2 different colors when I photograph them. So you take the top steering wheel first. And you just poke through because the hole's already there. Which is easier said than done when you're trying to do it on camera. Come on. Because I'm trying to do it where you can see it and it's harder for me to see. Normally I would take my glasses off if I was doing this. And this one's a little bit separated. It's a pretty tiny hole. Let's get one that's not so separated. Still trying to find a gold one. I don't think that's the one I just knocked back in there. There we go. The other one was just, they were open just a tiny bit. And then just grab your steering wheel. And there is a top and a bottom to both of these because they do emboss. So you want to make sure you have the top up. And also it doesn't move a whole lot once you get this on here. So kind of have it where you want it. Because this brad is almost as big as the hole, as you can see. Oh, come on. I'm going to have to maybe move it out of camera range so I can see better. Old eyes, you know. Or maybe not. There we go. So before you seal it, then you can see how it kind of moves. Get it where you want it to be, and then pull the tips of the brad. Because once it's pulled, it's hard to move that little thing. And the first time I did it, I had this kind of lined up right over the other steering wheel things, and you couldn't really see it. So there you've got, do it this way, that. And then for the compass, I took our metallic pearls, which come in gold and silver in the same package, but I'm going to use the silver side. And they're self-adhesive. Grab one. And I just put it right on the top of the center. And then for my anchor, I took another little piece of the twine. It doesn't need much at all. And just fold it over like this. And the little hole that it has. Again, old eyes, is this far away? I should just take my glasses off. It's not like I really need to see. Then it's a little bit far away. But just pull it through the hoop. So you've got kind of, looks like a sailor's knot. I know it's not really, but we're going for fake. It's not a real anchor either. You don't have to have a real sailor's knot. And then just kind of untwist this, unravel it. That's why you want a short piece, because if you have a long piece and you have to unravel it, you're going to unravel it and it's going to take longer. And then when you're done, you're going to be like, well, that's too fluffy for a nautical card, and you're going to end up cutting it. So you've just wasted your time. Now my daughter's home. I'm going to have to tell her I'm filming when she walks in. And there's just the cat to greet her. So just take a little bit of adhesive here. Add this. And then you just kind of layer them where you want. This one I'm going to use a dimensional. Hey! Put this. And again, I'm going to try to grab a little bit of the twine behind this to hold it in place. And this one I'm going to do snail, because if you put a dimensional behind it, you're going to see it. Just hold that down. And every card you do is going to be a little bit different, because it's going to have these all mounted in a little bit different of a spot. Where should we put this one? Maybe here. So there you go. Here's the other one I did. Similar, just mounted in different spots. So if you like that, you can do my online class. You can go to my website and find out all the information you need about it. So I hope you like that card. I was going to show you the other one. Here you go. Here's the original one. So same paper, same stamp set, just arranged a little bit differently. So there you go. Have a great day. Bye.